Okay, so welcome to this session about Microsoft Teams live events. Anyone here used Skype for Business meeting broadcasts ever? Yeah, some of you? This is the next generation, and it's awesome. Because you can do everything within the Teams client, the production, the scheduling, and the consumption. So let me show you. So here is the flow of the scheduling, the production. You have two types of production. You can do it either in Teams, where you can get basic controls in order to adjust the layout and so on. This is more for like the regular users, widely available in your tenant. Then you have the second way to produce, which is the external encoder. This is new with Teams live events, which means that you can bring your professional equipment with your professional encoder, bring your own vignettes, bring your own ways to edit the meetings, and have that being streamed through the service as well. Everything is being processed and streamed via the Azure Media Services and using Content Delivery Network within Azure. And you consume it via Teams, via Yammer, or Stream. So let's dive into the scheduling process. There's some things you need to know about the scheduling process. First off, you can only invite individuals as organizers or presenters. This means they need to be part of a tenant, authenticated, in order to present into a live event. And also, you cannot invite groups or channels as part of those producing and creating content for the live event. If you have Office 365 guests, federated or anonymous users, they can only consume the stream as anonymous users. So this is still in preview. And right now, they can only view the stream and not contribute. If they need to contribute, they need to have a user within your Office 365 tenant. Live events in preview is only available in E3 and E5 tenants. And the licensing you need in order to work with this as an organizer or presenter is you need to have a Microsoft Teams license, you need to have a Skype for Business Plan 2 license, you need to have a Microsoft Stream license, either Plan 1 or Plan 2, and you also need Exchange Online license, either via hybrid or online in order to do the scheduling. So let's dive into how we schedule meetings for live events. Live events is only available via the Meetings tab. So you cannot schedule a live event via a channel or a private chat, only via the Meetings tab. So you go to Schedule a Meeting, and you go here and get the drop-down where you have the new live event. So it's still in preview. Rest is regular Teams meeting invite. The only difference is that you have organizers as producers or presenters. And there's a big difference between a producer and a presenter. The producer gets a totally different view, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And the presenters, they have a regular Teams experience. So you can invite individuals, not groups, and you can define if they are a presenter or a producer, and you can have multiple producers as well. This is part of the 3 important roles within a Microsoft Teams meeting. Later today, I'm doing a theater session on meetings best practices. We're going to talk about 3 roles for a Teams meeting. You have the producer, which is responsible for the layout, that everything works. You have the presenter that has only one job, to make sure to get the content and the message out there. Everything should work. And then you also have the Q&A moderator. The Q&A moderator is not a specific role here, but all producers and presenters are able to be a Q&A moderator, which is questions that you either bubble up during the session or after a session, or you are a subject matter expert that can answer the questions yourself. These roles should be defined in advance. You should prepare by dividing these roles between people and make sure everyone understands their role in the meeting. This is a highly scheduled meeting, and screw-ups is not okay, right? You need to make sure it works all the time. The next step, we define the properties of the meeting. First, we look at the permissions, which is people and groups, org-wide, or public. People and groups are specific groups or people within your organization that are authenticated. They need to authenticate into the meeting in order to consume the stream. Org-wide is for your entire tenant across all domains you have in your tenant, so it's tenant-wide. Then you have public, where anonymous users can join as well. And I'm going to show you the experience for anonymous users at the end of this session. But today you need to consume this via the Teams mobile client, the Teams web client, or the Teams desktop client. You don't need to have a role in that tenant producing the stream, but you need to use and be signed into a Teams client. The next is the production type. So we have two types, as I talked about. I'm going to show you quick start first. And then you have different choices here as well. You can control the capabilities centrally through policies. And I recommend to just check everything, but that's why you have a live event, right? You want the recording to be available for download, so that you can download, edit it, and put it up either on stream or YouTube or whatever. You want the video to be available on demand, because that's the beauty of using live events, because you have the live stream, and then people can consume it when it suits them as well. There's a lot of different reasons why people can't join a meeting. Doesn't mean they don't want to. It may mean that they are in a meeting, they are home, they were holed up or something like that. For Skype meeting broadcast, Microsoft said that of all the users consuming a meeting in general, 50% watch it live, and the other half watch it on demand. So the on-demand feature is really, really important. Make sure you have that available. It's available for 180 days after the recording, then it will be gone. Then also you have the Q&A module. I really like the Q&A module. I'm from Norway, and in Norway we don't like to ask questions we think we should know, so we don't ask them, right? Here you can ask questions as an anonymous user. Even though you are signed in and authenticated, you can ask it as an anonymous, so you don't look stupid. Right? And this is a good thing, because we want questions. We want people to understand our message, which means that the Q&A module, I really like it. And I think that meetings over like between 30, 40 people and up to 10,000 should be a live event, because it's not going to be much interaction anyway. So let's make it a live event available on demand with Q&A. Moving on. So when we have scheduled a meeting, it's a regular Teams setup, we get a link that we get to send to the attendees. So those getting this invite is only the producers and organizers and presenters. And we need to get that link in order to create a new invite for all those either anonymous users or the org-wide consumption team. Put it on the intranet, put it on Teams, whatever. So that was the scheduling process. Let's look at the quick start experience. So you will find the meeting in your meetings tab. You click join. You see it's the same join experience as always. You can define if you want video, audio, make sure your device is okay, and you sign in and join as producer. So this will be a special view only for producers. That's why if you're running a live event, even though it's a small live event, you probably want to have two people, one in the producer view and the other in the presenter view. So at least two people. The producer can also be a Q&A moderator. The presenter should never be a Q&A moderator. So here you have different views, and when you see that people join, and they join with video and content, you can switch between the sources. And you have two sources. You have Q, which is where you define what you want to show, and this is what you're actually showing. So when pressing send to live, it will go over to the live actual event. So you can find your perfect view here before you publish it. So you can also add content and video, content and video. So you have those three combinations. It's basic, it may improve over time, but remember, this is the basic features that you get in Quick Start that's available for everyone within your organization, and it may be good enough in most of the scenarios. So here when we are sent to live, you see that this is the live stream, and we are ready to start the stream as well. But before we start, you see here we have the Q&A module. It's natively available within Teams. So typically what I do when I do live events is I post a moderator setup to make sure people ask questions and that they can ask them anonymously. That's a good feature you guys remember, right? So this is all part of the native Teams experience. No extra website, it's part of the client. So then we are ready to start the event and be aware of two things. It's about 10 to 20 seconds delay of the video for the stream. And one other thing, you cannot return from this point. If you have started the stream and you end it, it's ended. You can't restart it. So you make sure that you start on time or a couple of minutes before the stream should start. So this is not a practice run. This is the live full event. So if you need to practice, you need to create other events in order to practice. So you have a one shot at this. This may change in the future, but this is how it is in the preview. You also see here a number of attendees watching, and this is a new feature so that you actually get to see how many is watching the stream, if it's 0, 5, or 10,000. That's really cool, right? And then you can change the view during the presentation. You can change who you want to see in video. Here you also see that you get background blur. That works as well. Really good feature. Now you don't have to rearrange your office. You can do it at home, and you can do it in a crowded space as well. You can also have content only, and when you push send to live, then you switch. So you can get that perfect setup. So here we see we got a question. Anonymous, of course. Is this being recorded? Yeah, it's recorded. So everything happens within the same glass of pane. When you end, it's ended. There's no turning back. You can't restart it again. And you get a warning as well. Make sure. There's no turning back. Okay, that was the production for Quick Start. Let's see how we consume this. So this is from rendered through Azure Media Services, and you get it from the content delivery network within Azure, which means that all users will go on the internet to get the stream. And if you have a lot of internal users, then you need to think about if I need to have a third party to optimize that stream. I will get back to that. But before that, at the end of the stream, you will see in the meeting invite when you're finished, you have access to the recording, Q&A report, and attendee report in the same view as always. So we stay in the Teams client. So looking at this, you get some gibberish in Excel and CSV. You need to clean this up in order to create the report, and also for the Q&A. As I mentioned, this is delivered via Azure. If you have anticipated that you will have a lot of internal users that will consume your stream, in order to break your internet breakout, you should consider talking to Collective, Hivestream, or Ramp in order to make sure that you have one client accessing the stream and then distribute it within your internal network. The challenge is that the stream may consume up to 1,700 megabits, which is quite a lot. If you have 500 of those, it may go to hell. and we will have a poor experience. It's great during pilot and rubbish during production. Make sure you think about that. So eCDNs can actually reduce the internet link consumption by up to 98%. And it's one client downloading the stream and then distributing this as a mesh network within your network. They use a client installed on the devices, both mobile and PC and Mac, in order to distribute the stream. So here's the experience joining as an anonymous. So you click the join button, you see the meeting in your Teams device, and you will see that it will join, and you can leave at any time, and the meeting is consumed within the native mobile platform. As I said, as an anonymous user, you just need to be signed in to a Teams account. You can consume it regardless, but for authenticated users, you need to be logged into your Teams client in order to consume the stream. You also get access to the Q&A module up here. So you get a native Q&A experience as well on any platform. So it's the same layout regardless of web, desktop, or mobile. So that was the scheduling experience, the production for Quick Start, how we consume it. Let's look at the next step, the external encoder. So you have a couple options here as well, where you can have live captioning and Q&A. You need to be enabled for a stream license, and you need to be given a role in order to invite to such a meeting. And so that's when this will light up. So we're using the real-time messaging protocol, so any third-party encoder that supports that can actually produce this stream. So let's take a look. You can also invite via stream, so you don't have to be in Teams, but you can be in Teams and have all the settings set up in Teams. So you go to create, live event, and then you have all the same settings here. So what you do, you provide the content delivery network, the URL for the meeting, and put that into the encoder so that they know where to send the output. So everything goes over the network. So you have the media mixer. You can use like super professional TV production stuff. I talked to a customer about this, and they produce TV-grade internal content. And they said if they were to actually create this themselves, create the bandwidth, the ability to add all org-wide users to consume such a stream, it will cost them a lot of money, over $200,000 just to build it. Now you get it for free in Teams. How cool is that? Yeah. So the free encoders that's available, not free, but the encoders tested by Microsoft is these. And you can follow this link to see at any time what is tested. This is not like a pure supportability. It's only regarding those that's actually been tested. And you can find guides on how to set it up on the individual pages. So OBS Studio, for instance, is free. Expert Broadcaster is a common one. And Wirecast, and then you have all the others. The requirement that they support RTIPM. So how do you consume this? Right now, when using an external encoder, it's only available for users internal to your organization. So they need to be signed in, either specific users or org-wide. And you need to consume it through Stream. And this is in preview, and this is the new feature in preview. And I would guess this would change a lot in the coming month, during the next year. So look out for the possibilities. What I know though, Microsoft is working on enabling Stream to be accessed anonymously as well. So look out for that. You can still use the same content providers in order to optimize the stream so it doesn't break your network, because it's still produced through Azure Media Services. So make sure that if you do produce really good content, everyone wants to see it, then make sure that you don't break your network. So that's the process. Scheduling within Teams, Yammer, or Stream. You have two types of meetings. You have Quick Start natively in Teams, probably what you want to give all your users or a subset of users, assigned through policy. You have External Encoder, only available for internal users via Stream today. You use the Azure Content Delivery Network. You can optimize via third party, and it's consumed via Yammer, Teams, or Stream. So my name is Ståle Hansen. I'm an Office Apps and Services MVP from Norway. Thanks a lot for your attention. Have a good conference.